What is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we have F1 2016 Mobile Career Mode episode 27 at the Mexican Grand Prix. If you guys missed the Malaysian Grand Prix from the last episode, then be sure to go check that out if you haven't seen it already. And that's kind of thrown the championship fight wide open again between myself and the two Mercedes. However, I'm not going to say any more. Also, if you saw the previous episode before that at Monza, and you wondered why it ended on a cliffhanger, I also basically explained that and what actually happened at the Italian Grand Prix as well. So yeah, I would strongly advise you go and check that one out as well beforehand. But today we have the Mexican Grand Prix. There are now just 3 races left in the championship. I currently lead by just 1 point ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and Rosberg is a further 12 points behind me and a further 11 behind Hamilton. With that said, let's go to the grid.
Welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, which is the location for today's race. The cars are out on the grid, so let's join the action down on the track.
And there we go. What a fantastic performance in qualifying, and we've only gone and bagged our first pole position of this entire series ahead of Rosberg, my teammate Ricciardo in 3rd. So a fantastic day for Red Bull on Saturday. But we've got to do the business in the race. It may be our first pole of this whole series, but the question is, can we now win the Mexican Grand Prix? 5 red lights are out, and we are underway for the final 3 races, and it's been a decent start. Also note, I'm on the soft tyre, so getting off the line might be a little bit trickier. It's an awfully long run down to turn 1. You can see the proximity arrow with Nico Rosberg. He might have almost try and have a bit of a half, but now into turn 1 we go. In the end, I can try and hang it round the outside of the German, and that means that we're going to maintain the lead of the Grand Prix. So that's a good start from us. We've done everything we needed to do, and we haven't lost any positions. An unfortunate thing to notice though, I don't know if you guys just saw on the mini-map, but my teammate Daniel Ricciardo has had an absolute shocker. He's just getting eaten alive by the pack. Look at him there, he's all the way down in about P6 or maybe even P7 already. So it's been a horrendous start for my Australian teammate on the other side of the garage. But I said we may have been due our first pole position, going back to talking about that, because we've had quite a few front row starts this season, and I think it was either in Germany or Belgium when we had a front row, and I said we were surely overdue a pole position. But now, lap number 3, here comes Lewis Hamilton. He's managed to get ahead of Nico Rosberg. We're going to try and give him the big squeeze, but in the end the Mercedes is just too quick for us on the straight, and there's absolutely nothing we can do other than concede the position. And Nico Rosberg is behind me now, so maybe I'm about to get eaten alive by the other Mercedes as well, because we've got another back straight. We've just seen how quick the Mercedes is. Here comes Nico Rosberg to the outside line. No, he backs out of it, so in the end we are going to keep the position for now, but practically pushing Hamilton there through that chicane and going in through the middle part of the lap. Again, I get a decent exit out of there. It's now just about to seeing if we can stick with the Briton through the middle sector, because don't forget he's on super soft tyres, which are very quick, but they don't last for that long. And look at the wash of understeer I keep getting. Look how much Hamilton's pulling away. In the end, I've had to cut the chicane, and that means I end up just having to give the place to Nico Rosberg, because he was probably going to overtake me anyway. And look how much ground we've lost to both Mercedes already just in that time. I'm sorry, there was absolutely nothing I could do, and it would have been a bit silly to almost leave the track and gain an advantage, which is why I decided at the time to give the place up. And now this is on lap number 6. We've got the lap car of Marcus Ericsson. Thankfully, he causes me no issues, which is a very pleasant surprise. But also, my tyres are really going off. I don't know if you just noticed the tyre wear icon, but on the following lap, there it is again, coming through the stadium section to end lap number 7. And we're going to call into the pits at the end of this lap. I'm definitely going to go for a 2-stop race today. 18 laps, one of the longest races of the season, rather, as we saw a Mercedes almost spun out in the pit lane there. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Anyway, we've pitted onto a set of super soft tyres ourselves now, and we're coming out of the pit lane in P4. Harry Anto's in 5th, so I don't know what's happened there, but Hamilton is in 3rd. So maybe the other Mercedes was Nico Rosberg, because if it was, then maybe he's going to potentially come out in some traffic and end up really far down the order. I'm presuming you guys saw that. It was just a Mercedes in the end. I think it was reset, but it was just sort of stranded in the middle of the pit lane. And now this is all the way to lap 11. Nothing else has happened. We've caught up to Hamilton. We've gone wide off the track. There's the lap car of Ericsson again. I backed out of that because you cannot overtake there off the circuit. We're so close to Hamilton. I accidentally hit the back of him there, and we are absolutely flying on these super soft tyres. But as I said, they are already starting to fade, and that means we are going to struggle to now get past the Mercedes, who's gone onto the mediums. So interestingly, it looks as if Lewis Hamilton is going to the end of the Grand Prix. So that means if we make a second pit stop, it's going to be very, very hard for us to get back in front of the Mercedes, especially because there's only sort of now 6 laps left. And this is Sergio Perez in his home race, the Mexican, all the way down in second to last place. He doesn't put any fights up against me. As a lap car, he shouldn't do anyway, but thankfully it's nice to see that he doesn't, so I don't have to end up shunting him out wide or something. I'm sure you guys all know exactly how I treat lap cars by now. But at the end of the lap, we're going to pit again for our second time and our final scheduled pit stop of this race. And look, this is my teammate Ricciardo, all the way down in 20th place. I said he might end up down the order if he gets swallowed up at the start, and indeed that looks like it's been the case. Anyway, on goes a fresh set of super soft tyres, 2.4 seconds, and we're going to leave the pit lane in P5. So it looks as if there's going to be no problems with us scoring decent points here in Mexico City, but considering we started on pole position, I would absolutely say a podium is the minimum requirement. As we go through turn 1 again, we've got Carlos Sainz and Kimi Raikkonen just ahead of us, and this is the battle for third place. So hopefully, if we're aiming to get a podium, all we need to do is get past these guys. We've got a quick car this season, and with the freshest tyres in the field, we should be very, very quick for the first couple of laps. So we need to try and strike while the iron is hot, starting by potentially going round the outside there of Carlos Sainz. Raikkonen suddenly braked, I've hit the back of him, and again we're coming up to Marcus Ericsson. I think this is going to be the third time I've lapped him today, as we also just saw Carlos Sainz aggressively squeezing me off track, and Ericsson... That was close to a collision. In the end, I backed out of a move to try and re-overtake Sainz once he squeezed me off, but yeah, there was nothing I could have done anyway, and again, I nearly hit the back of Ericsson there. This time, lap number 14, we're going to absolutely send it down the inside of the Spaniard. He's going to try and defend it if he can. The Toro Rosso defending against the Red Bull round the outside. This time, we will keep the position, and we are up into P4. And we've got Raikkonen just ahead of us, and we are gaining on him. Raikkonen on the medium tyres, so I'm presuming he's going to the end. A little bit of contact made there as I accidentally tapped the back of him there. However, we're following him through the S's, and my tyres, I think, are starting to go off a little bit. But also, just going to mention Carlos Sainz again. He's been really outperforming that Toro Rosso this season. He's had some fabulous results as of late and is really in fantastic form and potentially can get P6 in the championship. This is my teammate again, Ricciardo, 21st place. He can really try and help me here. Thankfully, he gets out of my way in a hurry, but he's given me fantastic traction out of the last corner. And that means I'm now very, very close to Raikkonen. So we've got a lap car leaving the pits. DRS, that's a manner, it's Haryanto. And there we go. We're going to absolutely breeze past the Iceman with the aid of DRS. And also potentially with the help of my teammate for slowing him up so I could get closer to him. Thanks very much, Daniel. You do have your uses, even if you're at the back of the field. And that is now P3 in the Mexican Grand Prix. And we've got Fernando Alonso now, the lap car. Again, not too difficult there for me to get past him, which obviously is very nice because I don't want to be squabbling with lap cars and losing time. But look at this, we're coming through the stadium section now. There's only 3 laps to go. I'm just wondering kind of what the gap is to the Mercedes or whether either of them are pitted again as we cross the line. The gap, there you go, 21 seconds to Lewis Hamilton. So unfortunately, there's absolutely no way we're going to get any higher than 3rd in this Grand Prix, as we've now got Marcus Ericsson for the 4th time. I've gone wide there. My tyres are absolutely screaming for help. Ericsson, well, that's the 4th time I've lapped him, so probably he's stone dead last by quite a long way. There you go, that's the state of the tyre wear icon now. 16 seconds to Hamilton, which means Rosberg has won the race. So Rosberg is right back in the championship fight. We've got some more lap cars to navigate here through the stadium section on the last time, including my teammate Ricciardo for probably the 3rd time. In the end, there's nobody behind me. We're just going to cross the line together as a sign of teamwork and as if to say thank you for helping me get past Raikkonen. But we started from pole. In the end, third was probably the best we could have done on a 2-stop. The tyre wear was very high, but we just didn't have the pace of the Mercedes. There's the results from Mexico. Rosberg wins ahead of Hamilton, myself, and then Sainz got ahead of Raikkonen in the end. He was 7 seconds behind me, and Raikkonen looks like he made another pit stop. Huge shout out to Verline, Button and Magnussen. That's some big points for some teams that are lower down the order. Vettel only 15th, my teammate Ricciardo second to last. We need him to start performing, to be quite frank. He needs to do better. But look at the Drivers' Championship. The top 3 are now separated by 4 points. With 2 races to go. This is going to come down to the wire. This is absolutely insane. You honestly could not have written this. This is definitely one of the closest championships in history for sure. Mercedes, I think they've actually won the Constructors now mathematically, but I think we all saw that coming. So yeah, nothing new there. Mercedes are Constructors champions once again. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave you there with the incredibly close championship standings. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Let's get to 400 subscribers. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below. Who will win the championship from here? Comment down below. Myself, Hamilton or Rosberg. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.